My hat! Alright, so we have bag one, and I just took out all the bearings, placed them in a location, all the other parts. I've already gone ahead and trimmed these, so I just cut them off the spur, and then I just grabbed a little file, and I just filed away the excess material just so everything is smooth. Now in this part here, this particular part, notice it does say top. So, well, you can't really see in the camera, maybe. It says top here, so this will be the top portion. The other thing too is this side, this is the round part. I'll place it closer. This one, just face it toward you. And I have already gone ahead and placed two of the bearings on top. Now, I generally like putting the rubber seals on the outside, and the reason why is I think the rubber seals seal the bearings better than that metal part. So if I put them on the outside, in my mind, it helps them keep them cleaner, keep some of the dust out. Now, you will have to put two of those aluminum washers in here. Make sure you seat them correctly. They need to sit properly. If you don't, then the bearing's not going to go in there smoothly. Now, I have already gone ahead and placed them. I actually just dropped them in and then just kind of shook this a bit until it sat. And then once it sat properly, just grab the other bearings and then just place them on top. So that's what you will have. And on these over here, there's no washer in the middle, so just place one of the bearings on one side and then place the other bearing on the other side. And like I said, I like keeping the rubber seals on the outside. And I have both bearings on this one as well. So these are the smaller bearings that you're going to find here. So it's going to be the smaller diameter bearings. Now, once you have this, we are here in step one. We have all the bearings. Now we need the bull studs. And these bull studs, you're going to notice that you're going to have 5 of them. The ones that you want are the 8mm ones. Now you don't have to measure because you have 10 and you have 8 and then you have a 5. So it's the ones in the middle, these right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take both of these because these will go in here. And this is why it is important that you orient this correctly here. So this is facing the top, and these, see these little rounded edges, facing towards you, this is where the ball studs go. And you will need, according to this, a washer for each one. We'll go ahead and place the washer. And you just need a 2mm driver for these. And as always, use quality tools. Do not use cheap drivers. If you have Allen wrenches, you can use Allen wrenches, but Allen wrenches, your fingers are going to be hurting after a while. And the whole build is going to take longer time. The very first kit I ever built, actually it was an Associated buggy. That was a long time ago. But I was using Allen wrenches. My God. It probably added another 2 hours to the build, at least. Because later on I started just building more kits, and I mean, by that time, second kit around, I already had good tools, well, these MIP tools, and it was a lot faster. Now, some of you may use power tools. That's fine. Just be careful not to strip anything. So these, as soon as you feel it snug up or get to the limit, stop. Because it's really easy to just destroy the plastic. Because as you're driving these in, they're threading themselves in. That's the reason why. Then you're going to have to either buy a new one or try to fix it with some CA glue. But it's not the same. I mean, it's a fix. It works to a point, I guess. So we have now completed step one. Let's go to step two. Now, step two, this is important. So there's this tie right here, and there's no markings on either side. But if you pay attention here, not sure if you can hear that, but this part kind of pops up. So there's some extra material on top. And the other side is perfectly smooth. The smooth area goes up. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the screws so that I know the orientation. So the smooth area goes up, the other part goes down. And that is it. Now this here, this will just kind of sit in here. So I'm going to sit this in there for now. And I'm not going to worry about it for now. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and grab this 5mm ball. And the 5mm ball does not use a washer. The washers are going to be for the other ones. But the 5mm ball, if you notice between these two, the one on this side has an extra hole, so this one's going to go in the inner hole. I'm going to remove this and do it over here. And it's very easy to tell which is up and which is down. So if you look at the piece this way, this is up. And that's where the ball stud is going to go through. And again, when you're threading, make sure that you're doing this that it's straight. If not, back it out and then try again. Don't try to just run the studs through or screws through willy-nilly, as they say. Here we go. And now at this point, I can just go ahead and sit this here. I'm just going to sit that there, just so that I have an orientation. All right, great. So at this point, I'm going to grab this portion here, and once I have this little bolt piece, I'm going to go ahead and grab the other ball studs. And these ball studs, I will go with the factory build settings for now. I'm probably going to make some adjustments later on. And they will go in the center hole. And as of now, I've only used a 2mm driver. And there it goes. Well, out of the drivers, I've only used a 2mm driver. I guess I've used a knife, a file, and other tools as well. But as far as drivers, 2mm for now. That looks straight. Like I said, some of you may have power tools. Just be careful with power tools. If you have experience using them and it's a low torque driver, that works. But, I mean, even if I were using power tools, I would probably start them off by hand and then use the power tool. If this is your first time building a kit, I would recommend doing it by hand. That way you can just feel how tight everything is. Because you would be surprised, even the Makita, I mean, those are the tools I like using. Makita tools, the 12 volts, even those I find have too much torque. But let's see. Here we go. So now, at this point, we can go ahead and grab this right over here. And you have two options really. You can either screw this on top or you can place this over here. And if you look at this carefully, it's the back two holes that you will be screwing this onto. It'll be this over here. Just do it one at a time. That's why I only have two hands. And I need one to hold the piece. But I'm going to get this one started. Once that one's started, I will place this one over here. Then I'll get this one started as well. And again, just make sure that the screws are going in straight. That's the important part. Now usually I would be holding this a lot closer to myself just so I could see better, but then my head would be in the way of the camera. And we certainly don't want that. All right. And do not over tighten this. This is your steering. Your steering should be free. I'm not going to say loose. I'm going to say free. There's a difference between your steering being loose and your steering being free. Let's see. Here we go. I'm actually looking at the gap as well. So you need to mind the gap here. And that'll let you know how tight, how loose. All right, this here. looks good to me. And now at this point, so if I hold this way, these are going to be facing toward me. So these will go here, and the screws will go bottom up. So if you look at this here where it says top, so it's bottom up. That means I'm going to flip this, so I'll place this upside down. Now the top marking is on the bottom. I will grab the other two screws, put them through the bearings and into one of these holes. Just make sure you have the correct one. Right is right, left is left. And here we go. And again, do not over tighten this. You do not want this to be binding. And let's go ahead and drive for the next one. And to be honest, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm placing my finger here, so as soon as I feel that screw, that lets me know that I need to stop. So do not over tighten this. This should be free. As you can see here, I mean, this thing is quite free, and this is your steering. So other than that, this is it. So bag one complete.